Welcome everyone. This is our another episode. We bring many experienced peoples and the scholars and the researchers and policymakers in our show. Today we bring another experienced team from India. They have a vast experience to doing work in Silicon Valley. They are also solving Indian issues, Indian problem, especially water treatment and this kind of things. This is amazing team. Hopefully our audience will enjoy a lot based on the present Indian situation, how you analyze and your projects, how you doing works and how you want to collaborate with Asia Pacific. Lot of discussion will be there. So please, Ms. Durga Das and Kumars, please introduce yourself and that how you actually working, your professional experience and everything. We want to know from you.
Sure. I'll start so I can just give her the lead. So my name is Durga Das. I was born in Chennai, in India. Lived in the Silicon Valley for about 25 years, and mostly in technology. Been an entrepreneur most of my life, about 37 years now, and built and sold a few companies. And decided to come back to India, to the region, because I wanted to do something that created social impact in my country, which is India. I thought of two areas that I would like to look at was energy and water. And I had associated myself with water and technology around that about 14 years ago. So it felt an appropriate place to start. And so I moved back to India officially about 4 years ago from California and started working in the water space.
Mhm, mhm. And
My
your
full
co-founder? Yes, your co-founder. Yes, hello.
Hi, I'm Jyotsna.
Yes.
We're a set of engineers that started about 10 years ago because we had some common ideas about solving social problems.
Mhm.
Over the years, we built some devices that have been very useful to the society, like navigation system for blind people and many more. So along the way, when we were stricken by a severe situation, which was Chennai floods in 2015, we were stuck at home with absolutely no drinking water at all, even though there was water all around us. So that was when we started working on water-related products and how we can actually generate water from air. So we built this product and presented it and received an award from Tata's at IIM, Calcutta. So since then, we've been working on water management solutions, right from generating water from the air, right on
Mhm.
through onto holistic solutions, right up to wastewater management solutions.
Yes, very interesting. Before I go to your projects, we want to know the present condition of India, especially COVID-19 situations. What's the present condition of India? How you want to share with us?
I think, first of all, I don't think if we knew the numbers were right when they were presented because more we see now, the numbers are going up. But considering our population is about 1.3 billion, it doesn't seem to be as badly affected as countries like Italy or France or even the US, whose population is far less than ours. Having said that, I think it's something to do with our immunity, considering India's being a third world country and our sense of hygiene and sanitation has never been the greatest. So somehow we've built an immunity to fight, and I think that's actually helping in this time. So yeah, we've lost a few lives, and we're sorry for that, but I think we're okay. And there is some amount of relaxation now where people are slowly getting back to work. But I think it'll take a long time. But the economy has been hit hard. I think recovery will take a long time. There's going to be a lot of unemployment. A lot of entrepreneurs have shut down businesses. A lot of people in working jobs also are going to lose because I'm sure corporations will want a better balance sheet, so they will cut down on headcount. And so it's going to have a long lasting and a long reaching impact on us,
Mhm.
just like anyone else in the world. But I think by far, in terms of loss of life, we are not as bad as I would say some of the other countries who are far more developed than us.
Mhm. Okay. Ma'am, Madam Kumar, actually, I want to know more about the women entrepreneurship situation in India. Because what's the present condition? Because as you have a very good contribution in that area, so we want to know more about women entrepreneurships and how you taking the challenge, how you team up together, how you set your visions. That's it.
Women entrepreneurship, like any other field for a woman, is much more challenging because we have to manage both the family as well as the official side of it. So that is just as hard as everything else. But like we have been given gifted a set of resolve, a strength to achieve what we wanted. So there have been a lot of government supported programs that are helping and encouraging women to foray into entrepreneurship. So those are very helpful. And
Mhm.
If you want me to add something to it, I think women are natural entrepreneurs, don't you think?
Yes, exactly.
Workers, right? Right
Yes.
from the time we are born, we are taught to do many things: help the mother in the kitchen, help clean the house, also go to school, and also want to play. So right from when we are kids, we do multiple things and are expected to do well at all of them. So I think women are natural born entrepreneurs. If
Mhm.
given the right opportunity, I think women will shine. And not to say men don't shine, but I think women will naturally shine without too much effort. I've always
Mhm.
believed that women entrepreneurs can add a lot of value to the society, and
Mhm.
we should give and encourage more women to take the plunge, to take the chance. Typically, when you see entrepreneurship, it's considered a risky venture, right? You're trying something, you might or might not make it. So, typically in a family, they will ask the woman to take a safe job, and then the man will want to take the risk and try
Mhm.
entrepreneurship. So the woman is always the safety net, the person who kind of keeps things in balance. But
Mhm.
it should be the other way around. I would suggest the man take the job and the women take the plunge because
Mhm.
you just find work better. That's my feel.
Mhm. Very interesting. So, can you introduce your project? Because water treatment is a major problem right now. Even in Asia Pacific, I think we can get some guideline from you about your project, about how you doing your project, how your project works. Yeah. Yes.
Jyotsna can do a good job at that.
Yes. Yes.
right. So, like I said, we started this product because we faced a situation when we didn't have any drinking water at all. So we're
Mhm.
using nothing but atmospheric humidity and electricity to produce drinking water. So
Mhm.
as long as we have a relative humidity of greater than 30%, we can generate a large amount of water that's sufficient for a family of four.
Mhm.
So on an average, most cities have about at least 50 to 60%, and humid areas like Chennai and south of India have at least 70 to 80% relative humidity. So in these
Mhm.
areas, machines would generate much more water than was required for a family, and that would enable a family to become completely water independent, and we wouldn't have to depend on any water source for purifying or for producing water.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's a
Okay.
product called Tifta.
Mhm. Okay, interesting. Like example, I want to ask Madam Durga. Basically, you have a long experience from California, from Silicon Valley especially, and you are trying to integrate it with the Indian community and other things. What's like how you want to share your 25 years journey of Silicon Valley with with our audience? Like what you want to like our young audience, young entrepreneur, young people can learn from you.
I think if you talk about entrepreneurship and what experienced in the Valley compared to India, and I came to India to work with entrepreneurs, and I'm actually writing a book about it. It's a very interesting topic. I'm not sure the name is always very acceptable, but it's a very powerful name. And
Mhm.
this book talks about entrepreneurship, and it's for entrepreneurs. And
Mhm.
some of the messages in that book I can share with you is
Mhm.
what I experienced about entrepreneurship in the US or specifically in the Valley is it's a first of all it's a far more mature entrepreneurial ecosystem. India is
Mhm.
still pretty young. When I say India, I would say most of South Asia is still fairly young in terms of entrepreneurship. For example, like we were talking earlier, how many women get into starting a business versus men. can make out straight away from there that it's still not a mature system that allows everyone an equal playing field. When I talk about maturity of entrepreneurship, in the Valley, I experienced, first of all, investors look at entrepreneurship as, yes, it's a risky opportunity, but they encourage it because they try to nurture ideas to come forth. And they are not worried about failing once, twice, or thrice because they feel that through that process, you actually filter ideas, filter people, build strength in people to find real solutions. In India, we are risk averse, right? By nature, as a people, we're risk averse, and so we are not. Even when we, want to invest in a company, we're always looking at the profit and loss. We're looking at balance sheet. We're, in terms of valuation, we want to know what is it that you did the previous year. Can you show me what your, balance sheet looks like before I can create a value? In the Valley, an idea will generate value. You don't need a balance sheet. But in India, we need a balance sheet to create value. And that's the fundamental difference even in terms of investments. We are not ready to invest in ideas. We want to invest in something that is already making money, and therefore maybe I can help spur growth and make a little bit more. That's from an investor point of view. From an entrepreneur's point of view, I find entrepreneurs in India or even in South Asia are not ready to give up their life for the idea that they so, fervently believe in. When they start with something, it's like, wow, this is my passion. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to do something. But it's, I think, driven by some immature view of quick path to richness, right? It's about my friend did something, he became a millionaire. So why can't I? I'm smarter than him. I was in school with him and I was smarter, so I should be able to do it too. So it's almost like if you look at cricket, parents never allow their children to play cricket because they were said, oh, that's for fun time, but boy, you need to be an engineer or a lawyer. And suddenly IPL happened and everybody was becoming a millionaire. And every parent said, well, here's the money, go play cricket. Maybe you can make a few bucks very quickly. Right? So the temptation of quick money has spurred entrepreneurship is what I believe. It's not about believing in something, wanting to create a change, and willing to put your whole life behind it. It's I don't believe ideas. There are a few, and so there's always luck, right? You can go to Vegas and gamble and make money. But I think for true ideas to see value, you must stay in it for the long term. 7 to 10 years is when ideas truly blossom into something really powerful, right? So you have to give it that kind of time for an idea to create value, long-term value. But nowadays, people want to make money in a couple of years. I started something, I built a platform, I did something, I coded some technology, and someone should buy it, and someone else should give me the money for it, and I'm done. And I'll go do something else. It doesn't work like that. And I think that's what I mean by the immaturity in the ecosystem. Both entrepreneurs and investors are not yet where the Valley is. The Valley is far ahead in terms of entrepreneurship.
Very interesting. But basically, this is the major problem. Even as an academician, when I engage with this ecosystem, people want quick money. So when they want quick money, the result is very difficult. Anyway, I want to go to your co-partners. So even co-founder. So like India has a lot of challenges. Even my family background from my grandmother from India. So how like you actually like integrated with this entrepreneurial risk and how you actually face different kind of challenges, if you share like maybe our audience can learn. Even I know that many of the women entrepreneur they will observe your videos and everything. Practical everything. We do not want too much of theoretical aspects. We want practical experience, how you face your challenges, overcome from the situations, or what your contribution even from your partners. Yes.
Well, first problem we face is doubt from our customers, from minds of the customers.
Yes.
Because the first thing that when we see a product in Indians' mind, well, the first thing that struck Indian minds is why are they bringing this product and how is that person going to make money? That when a customer looks at an item, he doesn't look from a customer's point of view. he looks at it as a buyer's point of view and sees how is this guy going to make money from me using this product. So that's the first thing we need to address, to show how much value our products bring to the customer. So that's a bit of time. And the second is hesitation. Like I said, drives from the first one, of course, about whether such new products will impact my life in some way or the other. So we face that kind of hesitation with any new technology, like as with internet, with mobiles, and many such more. So that kind of hesitation is a little drawback for innovative products that we bring in. And third is price. So the first thing that our customers ask us is this cheap? So even if they tend to buy items that are useless and more expensive, they still think about having to pay for something that's essential and might be contributing to their lifestyle. The problems that we face on a daily basis. So how we address this is just time, patience, and bringing about and awareness programs and giving knowledge about how much value we bring to the customers, to their lifestyles.
Very interesting. I want to go to like our Honorable Durga Das ma'am. Two things we find. Number one, from your side, you find many entrepreneurs want to make, or many people want to make quick money. Yes. On the other hand, your co-founder, your company co-founder said that this is very difficult to create trust with the markets. So how we can like integrate it with in between these two things? Someone want to make money quick, and market also cannot rely on them. Actually, what's the procedure? This is actually most complicated part of the every business. So how we can manage this race in between two parties and this issue?
I think the first thing is, and I believe this all my life in every company I have built, and I've mentored many entrepreneurs, and this is what I tell all of them. First of all, build something that you believe in. Would you buy it if you built it? If you wouldn't buy it, how can you convince someone else to buy it? Right? Don't make something because of money. Make something because it has value. Right?
Exactly.
Value will generate money in the end, in any case. Right? It's a matter of patience, like she said. So that's the first thing. You have to create something of value. I've been in sales for 37 years. I believe everybody is a salesperson. Even a child in the cradle is a salesperson. But if he doesn't try, he won't get help, right? So we all have to make ourselves heard to get what we want. So once you have created a product of value, the next step is be heard. Cry if you must, shout if you must, get on the rooftop, get on the street, walk door to door, get heard. Right? If you don't get heard, nobody knows about you. Then there's no point saying, I'll sit here and wait for someone to come and buy it from me. There is a very interesting Sanskrit saying. I'm not sure if your audience will understand Sanskrit, so I'll just, kind of interpret it into English straight away. The lion is the king of the jungle. Yes? And every animal in the jungle fears the lion.
Exactly.
But
True.
the lion is hungry. And if he sits in his cave, the animal is not going to come and jump in his mouth. The lion has to go hunt for his food, even though he's the king of the jungle. Yes? So there is effort required. So just because you built a great product, it doesn't mean that somebody is just going to come and say, I'll buy it from you. You have to then go make yourself heard. You have to present your product in as many places as you can. It requires effort, discipline, and patience. Eventually, you'll get there. Yes, the customers do have doubt, and especially if you look at Indian customers, we are very averse to new ideas, right? We have a tendency in India to leapfrog technology. What I mean by that is, if a product is introduced in America, or at least this used to be in the past, if a product is introduced in America, India will wait for 4 years to make sure that the product has gone through one or two lifetimes. The problems have been ironed out, the issues have been cleared, and the price probably is now at a better point. And then we will leapfrog and jump to the latest technology. Right? We do not grow with technology. We wait for technology to become stable, and then we will jump, ahead. So we have a tendency to leapfrog and adapt to technology. We don't go year by year, improve year by year. That's just part of our nature in India, right? And so it comes to any product. If our product is new, someone is going to say, well, does it really work? Is it really good for me? Why is it so expensive? Why don't you give it to me cheaper so that I can try it out? That's going to happen no matter what we do, because that's the culture. But I think, nature and situations also help. The water crisis hit India, hit Chennai. I mean, everybody is really knew about it. When water crisis hit, then people will want a solution. So that inadvertently helped our product, where we were able to showcase it as a solution, right? During these times now, the COVID times, our product actually takes air to make water. And when we take air, we remove the moisture from it. And then we put back clean air into the system. So we are actually removing, any contaminants in air and putting back pure air into the room or environment that we work in. When we remove the moisture, we remove the medium in which bacteria can travel. So we are actually then creating a safe zone, if you will. And the third thing is we maintain social distancing. There is no hand that has touched this water. It comes straight from air into your glass. So our product actually worked very well in these COVID times. And so that helped. It's not necessarily something we should take, undue advantage of, because people have suffered. But at the same time, our product has been very helpful at this time. So I think doubt and hesitation will be there, but we just have to hang in there. The right opportunities will come up. We have to keep being heard. And like I said, most importantly, we must believe in what we sell. If we are building something and selling something for the sake of money, we will not succeed.
Interesting. Already some of the audience already responses. Humaira Tanzila, I think she is trying to learning from your discussions. She is from Malaysia. And anyway, I want to go to your co-founder. Okay, so like your organization actually adding values in water treatment and this area. So how you designing your products? How you build up your business? So, and how many years you start your operations, or these things we want to know?
It's been about 4 years now since we first made our very first prototype. So that was just made out of tools that we had about in the home. It was our first proof of concept when we created it. After that, we started our small factory and we started manufacturing our own small air water generators. And since we have an extensive R&D department, we are constantly trying to improve the efficiency of our products. So over time, we've been able to achieve a higher output of water than we did initially. So we're now at around 40% efficiency of water. So that amount of air that goes in, we get at least 40% of the humidity back as liquid water. So like Durga said, we also perform air purification. So the air that comes in, even if it contains pollutants, gets removed with our air filters, and that will not enter our drinking water, because that is also purified, filtered, and we generate mineral water with all the essential minerals that is required for our consumption, so that it's ideal for our usage, and it's safer than just demineralized water.
Interesting. So, Madam Durga, actually, how many people actually taking like your technology, and how many people actually directly getting benefit right now?
So we did some quick math a few days ago. About 2,500 units have been sold so far, and we're talking a range of products from very small units producing 20 liters a day for a home to 2,000 liters a day for larger institutions. Our current product range is from 5 to 10 liters per day for single family homes or bachelors or individuals, to 10 to 50,000 liters of water a day for larger institutions or government. We have about, produced, we are serving about 2.5 lakh people on a daily basis. And I believe we are, we have produced about 470 metric tons of water so far from air, and approximately saved the ground of about 900 or 1,000 metric tons of water from the ground, which means we have allowed our groundwater table to revive itself by saving that much water from the ground.
Very interesting. So, you are solving problem in India. So, do you have any plan to move to the South Asian market or Asia Pacific market? How you actually planning? What's your business strategy actually?
Actually, you'll be surprised to know it's not just India that has a water problem. There's a water problem
True.
everywhere.
Yes,
Even
true.
in California, we've had a water problem, believe it or not. Reservoirs are drying up there as well. Government is paying, money if you save water. The only difference is there in the Western world, they are able to measure the water usage, which we are still putting into place here.
Mhm.
Um, Having said that, so I've experienced people asking me in Brussels, in Belgrade, in Turkey, in
Mhm.
Vietnam, in Nepal, saying, "Can you please give us your solution? We'd like to work with you
Mhm.
because we have a problem too." And
Mhm.
we produce water at less than 2 rupees a liter of water, which is less than 2 cents to US cents a liter of
Mhm.
water. And in
Mhm.
many countries, water in India it costs 20 rupees a liter of water if you buy a bottle. But in many countries, it's far more expensive. I mean, I think in many parts of Africa, you can buy beer cheaper than you can buy half a liter of water,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So many countries are asking us, talking to us. The problem is worldwide. We are looking at joint ventures with people in different countries because I'm not sure we will be able to have the resources to handle everything ourselves. So
Mhm.
while we focus our attention in India, we want to work with partners in other countries to explore opportunities around the world.
Mhm. Okay, as you moving with the other countries, my next question is that what's the business relation in between SAARC or at least in subcontinent, what we are talking about, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh? What do you think? What are your observations as you are entrepreneurs? Is it critical or it has a good future?
I believe the SAARC countries are already on a good note. We do a lot of bilateral trade even as we speak. Water is a problem that can cause wars. So if we want to maintain friendly relationships with our neighboring countries, I think it would behoove all of us to find ways to work together.
Mhm.
Um, I think the opportunity to build these relationships, especially in the South Asian countries, is easier because we understand our cultures are very similar, our language is similar, our way
Mhm.
of life is very similar. So I think to create business relationships, like you said yourself, there are many Indians who live in Malaysia. So
Mhm.
it's easier for us to build and foster these relationships and to create partnerships that can help us take our solution to these different countries.
Interesting. I want to go to your co-partner. So as you are moving with a team with the women, and you have to make different kind of international relationship for your business growth and other things. So how you make this human resource relationship and how effective it is for your business, or is it too much of technical? How you engage with other community?
Well, one commonality that we see in all the countries, whether it's any of the countries in the African subcontinent or whether it's any of the South Asian countries, one common thing is that if there is no water at home, it's always the women who have to go and fetch water.
True.
So when we talk about providing drinking water to the families, the
Hmm.
women are always forward and they're able to relate to the situation very well. So
Hmm.
we never faced any problem about getting people into the team or having to motivate them to work better, because
Hmm.
as they work for themselves, they realize they're working for the entire community.
Hmm.
So we work with a lot of women we from various communities, and we've seen a beautiful a team growing in,
Hmm.
and we've all molded together very beautifully. We have not faced
Yes.
any issues. So
Yes, I have second question for you. As you say, you have R&D departments. Do you have research publication for our audience to read about your technology, or any kind of publication or anything that we know more about your technologies? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, Peter.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Would you like?
Hopefully, if you want, we can share with your with our audience. Maybe there are many corporations and many peoples. They can study and do research on your works, and they can collaborate with your organization. So I want to directly go to Madam Durga Das. So okay. So you have a very good careers in USA. You move in India. So even you said that there are some cultural issues and many things. So organizational cultures. What's the organizational culture of subcontinent? We are very like used to involve with Western culture and many things, but what's actually Indian organizational culture you want to share with us? What are the valuable things they have?
So it's just something else I've been writing in a book, but it's about perspective and perception, right?
Exactly.
Perspective comes from what you see, but what your brain thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Perception is what you see, but what your heart feels. Most
Exactly.
men have perspective and most women have perception.
Mm-hmm.
Most men think with their brain, most women think with their heart.
Mm-hmm.
So typically in the US, it's more business driven, brain driven, right? Does this make sense or doesn't it make sense? Will this make money? Will this not make money? That's how decisions are made. That's how businesses are run. In the working environment, there is no. I wouldn't say it's not there, but it's definitely not the way it is in India, right, or elsewhere, where work is professional environment. Your friendships there are professional, right? You might go out for a drink, you might go out for a meal, but it's still professional. Your personal emotional connection is always with your family back at home.
Mm-hmm.
So business is separate from your home. Whereas in India or anywhere in Asia, I would say, we tend to bring our heart to work, right? We build relationships with our customers. We sell because of relationship, right? It's just not the product that we sell. We actually we like to meet our customers. In the US, you can sell I must have had 1,000 customers. I probably met 150 of them. The other 850 was business done by email or phone. Whereas if I have 1,000 customers, I would meet all 1,000 of them. I would meet them face to face. They would get to know me as a person. Before they believe in my product, they want to know me. Right? So our way of doing business in Asia is very hot, not just. So relationships make a lot of difference here. In Japan, however brilliant they are in all that they do, business houses are built on structures of relationships. If you do business with one house, it's more often than not you will not be able to do business with another house, right? Because they are competitors. And so in Asia, I think businesses run on a lot of heart, and in the US, my experience was it runs a lot on the head, on the brain. That's a fundamental difference.
Yes, very interesting. So I have a question for both of you. Both of you women entrepreneurs, one has huge experience, you're also growing business. So I'm man. I do not believe, but in the society has perception. Woman cannot do this, woman cannot do that, woman cannot make business, they are not too much of professional, they are very emotional, they cannot run organization, many social issues. Even I'm a gender researcher. I find this kind of issues even many community. What your perception? Because this is woman entrepreneurship. When you build up your business, how you like overcome from this social like barriers? What your perception about that? Is it true that women cannot do anything, or actually women can do many things in a better way?
I'll address that first simply because I'll take what I just said forward. It's about perception and perspective, right? Women make decisions from the heart. Men make decisions from the mind, right? So when you make decisions from the mind, you're not taking into equation an ecosystem, an environment, a group of people. It's all fact. women make decisions from the heart. And they do that, they're not applying all the requirement that you must think through. So we will jump into a decision and then maybe think, oh, oops, I shouldn't have done that. Whereas a man will think through and make a decision, but he has not taken into account relationships, right? I don't believe one or the other is right. I think both are required. You need to have both, the analytical skills to do business, but you must also have the heart to do business right. Both are very important for anyone to succeed. So it's not a question of being just a woman or being a man. I think both men and women need to use both the mind as well as the heart. If you ask me, I would say lead with the heart, but finish with the mind. Right?
Brilliant.
So first you have to make sure your heart is in the business and with the people you're working with, but then apply your mind to ask the right questions and then do the right thing. So I think the combination is what will work. I wish all men have a little bit of women and all women have a little bit of man in them. I think yin and yang would work perfectly in a business situation. Right?
Yes. So what's your opinion? Yes.
Yeah, if you ask me, I believe the gender discrimination would come only at a very initial or superficial stage, and once we go into the topic, gender doesn't matter anymore, because the need for the value or a need for an entity or an item, it surpasses the discrimination that you tend to have or the misjudgment that you have depending on the gender. So first impression may be wrong, because I'm not saying it's wrong. The first impression may be anything, but beyond that, once we get into the topic, it doesn't matter whether it's a man or a woman. Eventually it's what the value that you provide that's going to stay forever.
Very interesting. Okay, we want to move with your Indian cultures, because we have many people from a different country. We want to know Indian culture. Even we want to know that how colorful is Indian culture. We know Hollywood, like different Bollywood movie, Shah Rukh Khan, this, that, many things we know. Okay, but we want some like your local area culture and everything. I think already another of my Indian friend, he already joined on Ankit. I think he's from India. He also appreciates your discussion. I think your Indian people also listen. Very interesting. Ankit, thank you for joining with us. He's from IBM TV, so they are supporting us a lot. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So a little bit about our culture, India.
Yes, definitely.
I think also all of us are becoming Western, so I don't know what culture is left behind. We're all watching TV, we're all for aping the West. But having said that, Indian culture, if we are the only early civilization still existing in the world, right? All early civilizations, if you look at the Roman, the Greeks, they're all broken and then restarted. We are the only early civilization that has a continued history of over 7,000 years. And when I talk about culture in the Indus Valley civilization, it's not just India, it's also our neighboring countries. We were all almost one unit at that time. So if you look at our culture, it comes from 7,000 years of history. There must be some little piece of that in my blood somewhere today. So I believe that we are naturally people who live in faith and hope, where we all believe in a power beyond us, where we believe things can get sorted out by prayer. So while we are all very intelligent, and the greatest minds have come from our region, whether you take Ramanujan in math, right, or you take Aryabhatta, anyone you see from the ages gone by, brilliant minds. The Pythagoras theorem was created in the Indus Valley. While we have brilliant minds, but we also have a lot of faith, right? We believe in God, we believe in a power, we believe in spirituality, we believe in religion, whichever works for any one of us. And I think that faith is what kind of keeps us going, which has kept us going with an unbroken chain. And I think that's something we all should be very proud of, the entire Indus Valley civilization. So, but in the day-to-day world, technology, I think, has not allowed us to practice culture. if you see today, now in COVID times, they're asking you to wash your hands every day, wash your feet. They
Mhm.
ask you to maintain social distancing. We
Mhm.
used to do all of this all the time. My grandmother would say, wash your hands, wash your feet before you come into the house, leave your
Mhm.
slippers outside, don't sit next to anybody too close, do namaste with your hands, you don't shake hands, you do namaste. So our
Mhm.
Hindu culture was all about COVID. I think either they knew
Mhm.
it was coming or they were training us to practice for COVID. I don't know what it was, but it's our culture is very COVID resistant. We've
Yes.
come with the practices that are already required.
Yes, yes. Interesting. Madam, please. I just want to share one of our audience, Ankit. I think he is from your country. We have to relive and reboot our culture globally and share the best practices around the world as a global citizen. Brilliant. He actually teaches us not only in Malaysia. He teaches, I think, USA, Canada, Australia, everywhere. He teaches how to do Namaste. So,
Yes,
so he's my friend. He's my friend as well.
Maharashtra.
From
I believe
yes,
he's
yes.
from Maharashtra. And they're just
Yeah.
going through very bad weather now. So they had a cyclone a few days ago.
Yes, Ankit, for your kind information, we also know how to do namaste in that situation. Okay. 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 So, ma'am, your yes, what you want to share about your culture?
Our country is an amalgamation of so many different religions, communities, which have so many interesting faiths. But one thing that unites us all is that we all have faith in some entity or the other. Even if it was not God, it would be. We have been grown, we have been fostered to to learn and to believe in some sort of faith, and that keeps us going. Every one of our festivals, they all talk about celebrating and being happy all the time. So we've all been taught to have a positive mind, which I think takes us along even when the worst hits us. I
Mhm.
think that is
Yeah.
common between all the languages and religions here.
Mhm. Like okay, like example, we are from Asia Pacific. How you want to make business breathing in between like Malaysia and India? How do you think? How do you believe that is it possible to make a collaborations culturally and business wise to with your organization?
Of course, because like I said, problem is there for all of us. It's not just India. Singapore is far more developed than us. Malaysia is probably even ahead than us. But having said that, everybody has a water problem. Even to the day, however developed Singapore buys water from Malaysia, right?
Yes, yes.
And we have a lot of natural resources, but Singapore buys water. Um,
Mhm.
but everywhere industry has contaminated water. Everywhere industry has contaminated our ground resources. Population is growing faster than and our needs have become more greed, and we have therefore killed our own environment. We've depleted our own water resources. Having such a problem, I think, is not just indigenous to India, it's to all of our cultures, all of our countries. So I believe we should work together and try to find solutions that make sense and find ways and means to collaborate. And we would be very happy to collaborate with people from other countries and see how we
Mhm.
can help solve the problem. I think recently, a few days ago, somebody visited us and said they want us to collaborate with a company in Canada doing the same
Mhm.
product. I don't think
Mhm.
Canada had a water problem, but apparently they do in some regions. And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
they want to collaborate on this product as well. And they
Mhm.
found that our technology is, far more efficient than what they make. I think by
Mhm.
3 times more efficient. And so we're
Mhm.
going to embark on an Indo-Canadian collaboration. So yeah, we would be happy to collaborate.
Mhm, mhm. Interesting. Our friend from Onkit, he said like Indian Marwari or Vasudev Kutumkum. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we only know in Malaysian people only know like Rajanikanth, like Rajanikanth and his style. He's very popular in Malaysia actually. So what does it mean? He asked me that ask about this word. Can you explain me and for our audience?
He's just saying I said he's probably from Maharashtra because of his
Mhm,
last name. says he is a Marwari.
Mhm,
Marwadi is a community in India, just
Okay.
like I'm from the south. I'm a Hindu Brahmin.
Mhm.
And Marwari. Most Marwaris are very very good business people. Very good head
Mhm.
for business.
Yes, Ankit is a brilliant business mind. We know. Okay. 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 Interest. Yes. Please continue.
Incidentally, Rajnikant's fan club had installed one of our devices at a public place.
Okay.
Uh,
Great.
yeah, so they're serving 100 liters of drinking water to the public every day. So that's
Oh,
placed
great.
at a publicly available spot just next to the bus stand,
Mhm.
opposite the theater. So those who come
Mhm.
to the theater get to drink free drinking water from his
we
from
we
for
want
them.
Malaysian people want this story. There are
Yeah,
many
it's
people
on
actually
YouTube.
big
Yeah,
fan
it's
of
on YouTube.
Rajinikanth.
Rajinikanth fan club provides drinking water. It's on YouTube.
We'll send you the YouTube link to share with your audience.
Thank you. This is the story we want to know. Like sometimes people say that you are too much of boring. I say no, I don't have options. Okay, so very interesting. Okay, India has now 1.38 billion peoples, and it's the biggest shutdowns. So how do you explain the present conditions?
I think we have a benevolent dictator
Okay, okay, okay,
running the country. So
okay.
to get 13 people for listen to anything is difficult. To get 1.3 billion people to listen and follow is a
Mhm,
humongous task. It's not easy by any standards. I played
mhm,
cricket for most of my life. I've run cricket teams with 11, 12 girls on the field. To get them all to follow and focus and work as a team has been, I know, a huge endeavor for me as a
mhm,
captain. But to make 1.3 billion people sit at home and listen, and to come out and clap on time and come out and light candles on time, you made them do it all, right? I think it's charm, right? I think there are a few great figures, not necessarily all of them were good figures,
mhm,
but you take Gandhi or Hitler or Modi now, they were able
mhm,
to inspire a large group of people to listen to what they say.
mhm,
However politically diverse our country is, still everybody followed. So I think it's a lot of credit to him that he's able to pull off something like this. I'm not
mhm,
sure any other leader in the world could have done something that he did with 1.3
mhm,
billion people. It's not easy. Just the
mhm,
other day, Floyd was killed in the US by a couple of policemen,
mhm,
and you should see the riots across the
mhm,
country in the
mhm,
US trying to bring the police to justice,
mhm,
right? Over here, 1.3 billion people just listening and saying, okay, it doesn't matter if I starve, it doesn't matter if I lose my business and all my money, but I will stay
mhm,
at home and clap when you call me to clap. And we
mhm,
did.
mhm,
It's amazing,
mhm,
isn't it? So I guess he's got a lot of political charm. He's obviously very, very capable as well.
mhm,
And Indians, I think, by nature, are people who want to be led. We
mhm,
like being led. There
mhm,
are a few exceptions to the rule, of course, but most of us, I think, prefer to find strong leaders and just follow them.
mhm, mhm. Interesting, ma'am. You want to share some views? Actually, my friend has response. Vishu Dev Kutum Kum means this world is one family. So this is my Marwari friend. I think he's a very intelligent for doing business. Mohammad Shohel Rana, he's supporting us a lot. He said very enjoyable discussions. So I think they want to know more about your like Bollywood, about your cricket. I think our audience has more interest on that. Can you share something? Yes, yes,
I started playing cricket when I was 10 years old. I
yes.
played very high level in the country. I captained the Indian universities team, vice captain the central zone side, um,
Brilliant.
south
Yes,
zone. And then I went
yes.
away to America when I was about 19 or 20 years old. And then I had a second stint at cricket when I was in my 40s. And I captained the US
Brilliant.
team.
Mhm,
And we won the America's Cup. We were in Bangladesh for the World Cup qualifier.
Mhm.
And then I captained the Americas for a few years. We played Argentina, South Africa, and England tour. And
Mhm.
now I play maybe one tournament a year if I can, but I'm too old to
Brilliant.
at that level
Brilliant.
anymore.
So we have a cricket superstar as well. It's very interesting. You play crickets or you have engagement with the Rajnikant and anything? I don't know. Our audience, I think they are very interested to know about these things.
You know
Okay.
about Rajnikant? So we have spoken to Lata Rajnikant.
Okay.
She's very interested in our product. She
Hmm.
was very keen that we work with her. She likes to work with children and education. So we
Hmm.
are trying to build on that relationship to see what we can do.
Hmm.
Jyotsna has, like she said, worked with the Rajnikant fan club to put this machine that serves water to poor people. I think Rajnikant
Hmm.
himself is very, very vociferous about the issue of water and the water crisis, and like I believe he likes to find solutions for water. So we
Hmm.
definitely will now reach out to him a little bit more and tell him that our friends in Malaysia would like him to participate with us and get on your
Hmm.
show. We'll let him know.
Okay, definitely, definitely. So there is a like I think few of the media already want to join with you. IBM TV, they want to invite you in future for discussion. But before that, in World Talent Economy Forum, IBM TV, you have to join with us. Okay, this is our exclusive partner. Anyway, so second things, Mohammad Shoail Rana, he appreciate your approach. I think you are the real all rounder. So they are impressed. I think without cricket, without actually Bollywood, actually the Indian culture, I think they cannot think too much. So anyway, so this is very interesting. You like your co-founder. Do you have any engagement like crickets or any of the cultural activities, anything? I think they will be more interest. Yes.
Oh, I do a lot of things, but I'm not a star like Durga.
Okay. Okay. Yes. 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 Very
Nice.
interesting. Actually,
Talented, very talented.
yes, when I saw your profile, I have a professor, Professor Dr. Durga Das Bhattacharya. I said I don't know, like anyone, anyone, anyone from
I wish
yes.
I had professor in front of my name.
Okay, okay, very
I'm not
interesting.
very educated, unfortunately.
Yes, yes. Okay. Anyway, we want to move forward because we get very interesting topic. We get water treatment. We get Indian cultures. We get about Indian cricket. We get cricketers, all rounders, superstar, everyone. So how you manage too much of things?
I know I manage. Actually, you just have to do one thing at a time, right? If you
Mhm.
can focus, you can achieve a lot. 24 hours is a long time for us
Mhm.
in a day.
Mhm.
Most of us don't utilize 24 hours very well,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
We spend a lot of time in, I think, thinking, or maybe just being, or fretting over things that we can't solve. We are not utilizing every moment of our time very well. And I think if you learn yoga or meditation, or you have the ability to focus,
Mhm.
you will be able to achieve things in a shorter span of time. What takes somebody
Mhm.
3 hours will probably take me 30 minutes. So then I can do
Mhm.
more things with the rest of my time, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So the idea is to focus on whatever you do. You will be able to do a lot more. If you don't focus, it will take a long time for you to do one thing. Then you have less time to do other things. It's as simple as that.
Mhm. Interesting. Actually, we already invite expert. He's actually depression expert. He can change your mood. So even we have expert for meditation and this thing, Humaira Tanzila. So you also think that meditation and these things actually work. So before I go to the meditation part, your opinion on the highest in terms of India dead and affect today with corona. Okay, okay, thank you. Anyway, so we want to move to the next level. Actually, you are talking about meditations and lot of activities. So we know that meditation and this kind of things actually come from India. So do you have any like message based on this meditations and the combination of different works? Actually, you say brilliant thing. 24 hours actually long time. How we can make it more efficient? Because we have many people here, maybe they can learn like how we can make 24 hours plan.
I think I mean, there are many books people have written, and many great visionaries and people in this space, very spiritual leaders who have said many things. I am none of the above.
Mhm.
But what I can say is it's all, people say live in the moment. It's a very common saying, right? Enjoy this moment, live in this moment. Um, do you know the only mammals that breathe consciously? And we are
Mhm.
mammals, yes, we are
Mhm.
mammals. Only
Mhm.
mammals who breathe consciously are dolphin.
Mhm.
We don't breathe consciously. We only breathe
Mhm.
consciously when we do yoga and pranayama. Then we
Mhm.
say breathe in and breathe out. Rest of the time you breathe unconsciously.
Mhm.
Dolphins breathe consciously, and that's why their brain capacity is even bigger than ours.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right? Researchers are trying to talk and understand how to talk to dolphin, and they are
Mhm.
very intelligent creatures. If you have
Mhm.
interacted with dolphin, so one of the things I experimented with when I was living in the US is I was in Florida, and I went. There's a program where you go swimming with dolphin. You jump
Mhm.
into the ocean with dolphin and you swim with them, and you
Mhm.
catch on to them, and they take you underwater. Then you have to
Mhm.
learn to take air before you go underwater and wait till they come back up for air again, and that's when you take your next breath. So you learn
Mhm.
to consciously breathe. When you consciously breathe, right, you will expand your brain. You will
Mhm.
become less stressed. You will automatically become more quiet. You will find
Mhm.
solutions to problems that you didn't even know you could. And it's
Mhm.
all just about breathing consciously. This is what
Mhm.
happens when you play a sport, when you run, when you play any sport, right?
Mhm.
Then initially it's hard to continue because you're breathing hard. But then when
Mhm.
you keep continuing, when you persevere, you start breathing better. And when you start
Mhm.
focusing on your breath and breathing, right? And that sport makes you, exercise makes you do that, then automatically everything else calms down. Which is why
Mhm.
I think it's not necessarily only meditation or some yogic practice. You can play a sport. You can just consciously breathe. I think you will find many solutions. We have a lot
Mhm.
of problems in the world. A lot of depression can be solved just by breathing correctly. We
Mhm.
don't need
Mhm.
chemicals. We don't need mind altering substances to make us live a better life. We just have to
Mhm.
learn to breathe properly.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes,
You,
ma'am.
Junior, probably has an opinion.
Yes, yes.
Well, yeah, meditation is all about living in the moment, like she said. There's a famous dialogue, I'm pretty sure you've heard it. Live in the moment, it's a gift. That's why it's called the present. I think it was in Kung Fu Panda.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so it's a gift to know and to just live in this moment. So we spend a lot of time trying to cultivate, focusing our thoughts into nothing, into just what is happening right now. That really calms our mind and helps us focus on what is to
Mhm.
be done immediately and prioritize whatever has to be done.
Mhm. Yes, very
What is
interesting.
the most
Yes,
effective form of
like we are big fan of Indian food. In Malaysia, we eat a lot. 90% actually people in Malaysian they go to restaurant. 90% before these things. Okay, like do you cook? No, personal life you never because you are very busy with
No,
your.
I cook. I cook.
Okay,
I like to
okay,
cook.
okay, okay.
I'm a good cook,
Oh,
actually.
very good,
I
very
love
good.
cooking.
Yes.
Cooking is
Mm,
meditative, right?
okay.
Cooking is
Yes. Yes.
a meditative experience. Yeah, I like to cook. It's an enjoyable
Uh,
experience.
Very good. So we want to know about Indian spicy Indian food. My audience want to know.
Indian
So
spices are like Indian women, spicy.
yes, yes. Okay. So only you love to cook, or you're like young entrepreneur also. She love to cook, or you do not
who
like.
said you can't cook can be an entrepreneur?
Okay.
We do both.
Okay.
Yeah, we love
Yes.
to cook. We cook together often.
So we have to come to India for, or you will come to Malaysia. What's your plan?
We
The
are
next
happy
time.
to cook Malaysian cook for you, not a problem.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. This is actually very nice
You have
discussion.
excellent
Yes,
mutton pepper fry.
yes, yes. Okay, okay. Very good, very good. So, in Malaysia, not only Malaysia, even around the world, actually, there are a lot of Indian peoples like yous, and we really enjoy these discussions. if you have time, you can discuss 10 more minutes, because we have a lot of audience. They are coming, they're asking a lot of questions, and actually they are motivated. They are really motivated. That is important. So this is very, very difficult time for this world. But do you have, as you are a very experienced, you have entrepreneurial approach and many things, do you want to share any kind of strategy from your side, that this is the strategy we can follow step by step next 6 months or next 1 year?
Yeah, I would think, first of all, don't be afraid,
Mhm,
right? There's nothing to be afraid of.
mhm,
Uh, think of it like a blackboard or a whiteboard. You just wipe it clean and start fresh, right? Um, it's a good time. We have a festival in India during Pongal.
mhm,
It's called Pongal, right?
mhm,
Pongal is like Thanksgiving, right, in
mhm,
the US. It's a time to say your thanks for what nature has provided you,
mhm,
right? And in the first day of Pongal, and it goes on for 7 days. There's one day we take care of the cow, another day we feed the crows. But the first day of Pongal is called Bogi. And
mhm,
on Bogi, what we do is take everything that is old, and then in early morning, we build the bonfire, and we put
mhm,
everything in that bonfire. And we clean our house, take everything that we don't need, whatever is old, and we throw it out. So
mhm,
that now we've cleaned our house and we're welcoming new things to enter our life,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
So think of this time as that kind of time. Think of it as a bogey moment, right?
mhm,
Think of it as a time to clean your homes, clean your mind, clean your work situation, put down all the problems and difficulties you face on a piece of paper. Try to remove things that don't mean any sense to you anymore. Try to
mhm,
remove things from your list of what I wanted to do yesterday, which have no meaning for tomorrow. This is a good
mhm,
time to clean yourself of everything. So
mhm,
I would say, don't be afraid, and then take this time to clean so you can move forward in a healthy way. It's actually a
mhm,
great time because people have started to understand the value of our time, the value
mhm,
of family, the value of money, right?
mhm,
Because today you might have money, but if the shop is closed, you can't buy it. So what
mhm,
is money now? Is money worth anything? Nothing. It doesn't mean anything. If you get positive, they just take you to a hospital. Your money means nothing. You will die just like the poor guy right next to you,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
So I think understanding the value of money, understanding what really means something important to you in your life, I think this is a great time to reflect and put those things in place and think of it as being given a second chance to live life well and live life with purpose.
mhm,
And if you think of it positively like that, then I don't think this is
mhm,
a time to be afraid. This is a time to enjoy and consider ourselves lucky to be given a second chance to redo our lives better. That's how I would take this time.
mhm, mhm. Yes,
Sorry,
ma'am.
there
Yes, yes,
was
yes.
most of the restaurants have been closed. I think we are very disappointed at that.
Mhm,
But we've seen there's a huge surge in the number of cooking videos that people are watching on YouTube because people want to
mhm,
learn. Because we have a
mhm,
lot of time. So
mhm,
since a lot of people are learning to cook, right? So it's the
mhm,
same. A very similar strategy is what we're following. Since you asked about strategy, I'm telling you what we do
mhm,
here.
mhm,
So usual times people have some amount of money and very little time. In this situation during COVID times, what people have in plenty is time. So we are using that time to educate, to let people know, understand the values of what we are bringing to them as a company.
mhm,
So that's what we're investing in. So even if it doesn't matter if the customer has money or if they can be of use to us immediately. We are investing
mhm.
in how much information and knowledge we can provide to them and improve their lives on the whole.
Mhm, mhm. Interesting, interesting. So basically, we want to move to the final stage because we have to close our session, and it's really, really nice discussion from your side. We learn about water treatment. We learn about global arenas like Silicon Valley and Indian approach. We learn many things about especially culture. My audience actually become very big fan when they know that you are cricketers, Already, Muhammad Shoilara, thanks both of you for the nice participation. We enjoyed much and learned many things. We have to follow the strategies. So already, I think you can work as a strategy consultant with them. Okay, so this is very interesting from our side. And last things, because you are special for us, because you are women entrepreneurs and you are all-rounder as well. So what your advice for the youth, and what you want to see them next 1 2 3 3 years, what they how they can be more successful entrepreneurs or a disciplined employee, a successful human, how they can be a successful human, what your advice for them?
Uh, Not just women or men, right? For all
Yes,
youth, I would
exactly.
say play some sport, play some competitive sport. It will
Mhm,
teach you many things that no school will teach you, no college will teach you, no book can teach you, no
mhm,
expert can teach you. What
mhm,
sport teaches you, and if especially it's a team sport, is you learn to work with other people. You
mhm,
learn about winning and losing and still going back the next day and playing again. Right? You can't win every day. You can't lose
mhm,
every
mhm,
day either. But you will get up and go play again. Right?
mhm,
You
mhm,
will learn about sharing. You will learn
mhm,
about respecting each other. You will learn about exercise, discipline, dedication. You will
mhm,
learn about perseverance. You will learn
mhm,
about patience. Right?
mhm,
You will learn about honing your skill to develop something so that it delivers in the future. So I think if
mhm,
you play any sport competitively, it will it will train you to be a good entrepreneur more than
mhm,
anything else. Ideas at a
mhm,
dime a dozen. They say ideas need landing gears as well as wings. Right? It's not
mhm,
enough to have a great idea. If it is not executed properly, it's of no use. Right? And for
mhm,
execution, you need patience, you need dedication, you need discipline, right? You need to be persevere. And I think playing any competitive sport will give
mhm,
you the right skills. And at that age, we will absorb those skills very easily. So if you're
mhm,
young and if you're playing badminton, the Malaysians are one of the world's best badminton players,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
Malaysian
mhm,
cricket is not terrible. It's also Malaysian cricket does have good.
mhm,
So I believe there's enough sport in Malaysia. I think
mhm,
taking up any sport, whether it's swimming, sailing, cricket, badminton, table tennis, golf, but whatever game you take up, try and play it competitively for 1 or 2 years.
mhm,
I think that the skills and the qualities you will learn will fine tune you to be a good entrepreneur. That would be
mhm,
my
mhm,
advice to you.
mhm, mhm. And from your side, yes, your co-founder, yes.
As an entrepreneur, I'm sure we'll have hundreds of rocks thrown at us, all the more if we're women. And most of the rocks are like, you're a woman, you can't do this idea is going to go
Mhm,
nowhere, you're not going to get money. I'm
mhm,
sure everyone's faced this. But yeah, they're definitely painful and they're definitely going to be an obstacle, but that shouldn't stop us. The camel, the feather that could break the camel's back is when we say, I can't do this. It doesn't
mhm,
matter when hundreds of people tell you, you can't do this. The moment I think that I can't do this, all the perseverance, the hardship, and the effort, all of that which went into the idea is useless. So
mhm.
I would say just don't let that one feather break your back.
Mhm. Okay, this is brilliant things. Today we get about water treatment, we get about global business. We learn a lot about, example, even Indian cultures, Indian food, Indian cricket. Many interesting thing, and most importantly, we get our new, like, for our World Talent Economy Forums, women Kapil Dev, all rounder. So so hopefully in the futures when we arrange conference, we will invite you. Definitely, this world need to know about this Kapil Dev. This is our Kapil Dev for World Talent Economy Forums. She is a really all rounder. So definitely, she can motivate a lot the young people. We can learn a lot. I think our audience today is very happy with these discussions, and especially my wife also very happy. I think so. Even another, yeah, yes, another. I think she's also from our team, Firdaus Rana. She also give lot of your thanks. Or everybody actually appreciate today's discussion. So it's a very nice discussions. Hopefully, we will invite you again and we will do a lot of activities together. With your experience, with your attitude, with your positive point of view, maybe we will change this world step by step. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you for,
Thank you
thank
for,
you for inviting us. Thank you.
Thank you.
yes, thank you.